Let's learn about user-defined variables. User-defined by the as the user. So I'll be creating different variables and help you know how to create the different user-defined variables. So simply, let's say if I take a variable x without any space, if I try to assign some value to this is the right way of defining the variable so that it is giving you no error, right? But what if I put a space between this assignment operator and this variable? So there is a space between this. So it is a wrong way of defining the variable and it is going to give error. Simply, if you keep a space between this assignment operator and the value, this is also going to give error and this way of defining the variable is not correct. And if you keep a space both before this equal to operator here as well as here, this is also the wrong way. And in this way also the variable will not be defined, right? Now we have learned how to define a variable. Now after that we can store any value to the variable. So let's say if I take a variable a and I am giving some value to this. So I am storing some integer value to this. Similarly, I take another variable b and in this variable let's say I store some float value. So I store 28.5. Similarly, I take one more variable and here I am storing, let's say, corona. So it's a string which I'm storing inside this variable C. And similarly in D, I'm storing the same string but in single quotes. And similarly in E also I'm storing the same string but in double quotes. So now let's see if I want to fetch the value of these variables, how will I fetch it? So if I simply write A, it is not going to give me the value of A. Rather, let's say if I write echo space A, let's see whether it is going to give you the output. No, again, it is printing simply A because after echo command, whatever you write is going to be displayed. So simply it is displaying A. But what if I want to fetch the real value of A, that is 14? So before the variable name, we have to put a dollar symbol. So here I put this dollar symbol. So this dollar symbol is going to fetch the value of A, right? So here you can see the value of A is 14. Similarly, you can also fetch the value of the B, which is 28.5. Similarly, for C, you can see it is giving you the output corona, right? And D is also giving you the same output corona. And if I print the value of E, it is also going to give you corona. So if you store a string in single quotes or in double quotes or without any quotes, it is going to give you the same result. Let's say along with the value, I want to display some message also. So if I write here value of A and here I display the value of A, I print the value of A. So here you can see that the value of A is being displayed, but along with that there is also given a message. Similarly for B, so you can change the value here and you can see the value of B is 28.5, right? Along with the value, a message is also being displayed. And similarly for C, also you can check the value. So value of C is corona, right? So this is a way to fetch the value of a variable along with a message. Now, as we have learned that we can store a string in a variable, we can store any other data type also like integer and float. But what if I want to store more than one string? Like I want to store collection of strings or you can say collection of words. So let's say I take a variable str in which I want to store life is beautiful. So is it a correct way of storing the result? So this is the string that I need to store. This is what I need to store, right? From here to here is what I need to store. But the thing is it a correct way of representing it? No, it is incorrect, right? So if you need to store it, then you have to put it in single quotes. And then now if you try to fetch the value of this str, first of all, you have to write the dollar symbol. And then if you try to fetch the value, it is going to give this output, right? Or either you can also take it in double quotes. So you can also put it in double quotes. And then also if you try to print the result, you can see that it is going to give you the same result. But if you have more than one word, then that cannot be stored without the quote. So be careful about this thing. And then As we have seen, then I've simply written this. What if I write this? What will happen here if I put it in single quotes? So you can see that it is simply displaying this. So after echo, whatever you are going to write, it is, if it is in single quote, it is simply displaying what is inside the single quote. What if I try to write it in double quotes? In double quotes, actually, it is giving you life is beautiful, the value stored inside this variable. So if you write it this way or you write it this way, both are going to give you the same result. But if you are going to print it in single quotes, then it is going to display whatever is written inside these quotes, right? So both these ways are correct. So you should also know this thing. And then if I write here, and if I put this in single quotes in these curly brackets, then also it is going to give you the same result, that is life is beautiful. So either you write it echo space dollar and then the string, or you write it in double quotes inside enclosed inside the double quotes, or we can also use this curly brackets, and they have different use that I will explain you in the coming videos. So just take care that just understand this point that these are the three ways which represent the same meaning, right? Also, the last point is if I have a variable x where in which I have stored some value, let's say 5, right? And I have a capital variable x in which I have stored some value 10. Now, please be careful that your shell scripting is case sensitive. So this small x and capital X are different variables. So if I try to print the value of this, let's see, if I write small x, then it is going to give what value? Let's display the message also. Value of x, right? So if I display this, so value of x is 5 because it is accessing small x, right? And similarly, if I try to access the value of capital X, it is going to show you 10. So both are different. Be careful about this. So this was all about the user-defined variables. In the coming lecture, we will be learning about environmental shell variables, or you can also call it as user-defined variable. Not user-defined, but system-defined variables. Till then, stay tuned to my lectures. Thank you so much.